Hello and welcome to a new series called DIY Bossing. In this series, the idea will be that I'll take all sorts of builds that normally you don't see as bossers, that normally don't get demonstrations, and we'll take them to Rathma and Clone, maybe also to Ubers. And the idea is mostly to just give confidence to people to boss with their characters that they map with. I see a lot of people who kind of shy away from doing bossing, not because they don't want to do it, but mostly because they're not sure if their builds can do it. And the idea will be to basically create demonstrations for builds. So if you have suggestions for builds that you want me to take to Clone and Rathma, just to show people you can gain like your own Analysis, your own Tainted Worldstone shards, without doing too many changes. You'll have to do small changes with gear, but it's gear that you can commonly find, and you don't have to spend like currency to get it. So that's basically the idea. If you have ideas for these kind of builds, feel free to put them down in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to them whenever I have the time to show that kind of bossing. With that said, today's first video will be about Arkblast Druid. I'm starting with Druid mostly because it's a character I already have in Pluggy. Like, I kind of have it set up so I can already take him. He's at the level where he can boss. But also because we already showed so many builds. I've made already guides for Druid, like we made a guide for Maul, and we made a guide for Fireclaw, and I might do a guide for summoning because I've already done so much with it in Pluggy. And Rabies is fairly known as like one of the best bossers, so there are a lot of guides for Rabies as well. So all of these guides are relatively covered, but if you're playing an Elemental Druid, which aren't usually taken to bossing, you might not be sure if you can or can't take your character to bossing, and that's what the next two videos will follow. So today will be about Arkblast, and tomorrow will be about Fire Druid. So we can see both of them kind of in how they can fare in bossing. With that said, let me pull a few videos. The first one will be just a demonstration of Arkblast mapping. It's mostly just to show like how Arkblast is for people who don't know what Arkblast is. This is the first time I played Arkblast, and this is with, of course, my Pluggy account, so I don't have full skillers, I don't have very optimized gear, I just have the things that I find. So you can see that this is a very powerful build. It clears the maps very fast. It deals incredible amounts of damage. It's actually ridiculous how strong this build is sometimes. But yeah, very good. It doesn't have to be expensive to get started. It has a very high ceiling though, in terms of if you like maximizing like a character and getting them to like an insane point, this could be a really fun build for you. It is a channeling build, which means you have to stand there and channel like Ice Blast. Some people, Arc Blast. Some people may not like that, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, this is how the build basically functions. You can see it just hop around and you free stuff. So generally, this is not like a build you take to bossing at all. You may take it to Ubers, and let me pull up our Ubers video. We don't need to see the full demonstration. And you'll see that if we take it to minis, I'm here doing doing Duriel, and this is the first time I'm doing this. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to make it faster. So see, if you take it to Ubers, to minis, this is the first time. I haven't tested this before. The damage is still incredible. It is easier if you let your mercenary tank for you. By the way, I don't even have a conviction aura on this. I have like a lower resist merc. So yeah, it is easier if your merc tanks for you, but you can easily tank it. Like as Arkblast, you seem to be fairly tanky. Yeah, you have a lot of HP, so. Or like I'm using Arcane, so I have a lot of HP, I guess. But yeah, you can see we're not struggling at all with the minis. We just standing there. We drink like rejuice when we have to, or we let our merc tank for us. But yeah, the damage is like, yeah, it speaks for itself. So after this, we went ahead and went to Ubers. Where's my Arkblast Ubers? And yeah, you can see that like, you're going to see that like we've been in this game for a minute, but yeah, these are immune to cold, so we can't touch them. We separate the free Ubers. And now you're gonna see something that was really surprising to me. Arkblast clearing out Mephisto in basically what seems like 10 seconds. So a lot stronger than what I was expecting. We later move on to Bale. And Bale, well, the mana burn was a little annoying. You can take like mana potions with you if you're doing Arkblast Ubers. Still no struggle at all. Like you keep your distance, you shoot your Arkblast, and Bale hardly can touch you. The one who seemed like more of a struggle was Diablo, actually. I was a little worried about him just one-shotting my my Merc, so I try to stand on the other side, so he just targets me, but I didn't really struggle as well with tanking his abilities and just moving side to side maybe a little bit. But that was the Uber's example. Again, this is just with the mapping gear that I had on. It wasn't anything very GG, it was just like... you'll see some of this gear is just like Battle Rocks and Arcanes and Nightwings, Druid Ward, Amaras, I believe we had on, and 2 skill rings. So, and yeah, you can see the skillers are like not full. One of these is a Geed's Fortune, so these are 5 skillers and a Geed's Fortune. They're plain skillers outside of like one that has 14 health, so definitely not very strong gear, and something that most people will have like in the first week already. Moving on to the next example will be where's my declone example? Alright, in declone, let me put the speed a little higher. Yeah, you'll see that I'm using Nightwings. I'm using an Arcane, so this is the same gear you use in mapping, at Mars, the Spirit Words. I'm not changing anything, but instead of the boots and the gloves, I changed them to Lava Gouts, which is something that you can commonly find while mapping. Most people will just throw these aside, but the reason we're using them is because they have 5 to maximum fire, and we use Water Walks, which also give 5 to maximum fire. We're using ones with bad slams that wouldn't even sell if you try to sell them like on the market, so you'll end up just tossing them or charseeing them. So instead of doing that, you keep them in a corner of your stash. They take only 8 slots total, and you'll use them. They are racks, it's the same racks we used for mapping, and we use like the skill rings, the same like skillers, the same charms. So pretty much like the same stuff. I just swapped the Geats out for another few charms for resistances. So you'll see that we have a total of 85 max fire from the Lava Gouts and from the Water Walks. And the rest is like 75, just like normal resistances, whatever we have. We're not taking any PDR. So like pretty much like not much preparations. And you'll see that when we walk in, like I just want to show the damage is absolutely insane. We kill the skeletons with no problem. We go in and immediately send it to the middle. We go to the corner. So as a tier 0 bossing, extremely capable. You see skeletons, really no problem. You just stack them up and you arc blast them. Send them to the middle again. And another wave, and this was so fast, it's actually incredible. And for the final phase, he was doing a few lightning, so I was dodging, but yeah, that was all it took to kill Declone. And maybe I did the Anilus, I don't know if I do, but I was really surprised that it was that easy to make that kill. Okay, we don't identify the Anilus apparently, but I think it was a good one. I might be misremembering. Now to show the Rathma example. And remember, this doesn't require any like learning in terms of like how to play the character or anything. I really do just walk around and blast, and you know, we take all the information we have in the bossing guide, we just apply it on this random mapping build. So we have our Frostwind, our Nightwings. I'm using a Guardian Angel. I'd recommend just whenever you find one to just keep it. Instead of Jaw runes, it can just be rubies. You don't need like the extra health from Jaws. I just had one with free Jaws, so that's what I used. The reason we use it is just because it gives a ton of maximum resistances. So if you find a Guardian Angel, just keep like one that has like solid resistances if you do want to run Rathma. A Death's Hand for poison length reduction. If you don't have that, you can use a Snake Cord instead as a belt. The BK ring, the SOJ, so same stuff. We're using a PLR boots. Doesn't have to have max poison resistances. It's fine if it doesn't have it. But if you find something with max poison resistances on boots or on shield or something, that's like something that would be nice to keep. This is just a random shield I found in what's it called, in Warlords map. So it came slammed with the +1 skill. And we just like put a hammer in it so we can have a little bit more resistances. If you find a shield with PLR, that's basically what you want to take with you. Same as if you find like an amulet with poison length reduction, that's something you can take to Rathma. But basically you can see it didn't change. Most of the gear is pretty much the same. Charms are just like what we used during Clone. Just a bunch of small charms with resistances, some large charms with skill damage, and a few skillers. It would be better if you have full skillers to just use that. It's much stronger. And I'm here looking for something, it looks like, but yeah, looks like I gave up on that. And yeah, let's see. And remember, this is not pre-tested. I haven't checked like what it is or how it does. We just did it live and we found out for ourselves if you can actually boss with Arkblast. I show here the stats. We only have like 120 poison length reduction. We have 83 max poison from like mostly from the Guardian Angel, but a little bit from the boots. Only from the Guardian Angel would be enough probably. And yeah, like no other stats, not a lot of elemental pierce or anything. Looks like I'm looking for something. I changed my belt for some reason. I'm not sure why I did it, but I'm sure it wasn't very important. Yeah, you can see in the in-between phase, the first segment, walk around. We have no problem killing everything. Just collecting a few potions. Is this really ×2? Is this as fast as it gets? Yep. Okay. I'm a very impatient person sometimes. Okay, we walk in and we try to Arkblast. You can see that very fast we already clear like the first phase. And the golems die really easily. This is a place where you can use Gust to teleport around to follow the golems if you'd like to. That's what I'm doing. Since I didn't want to respec my skill points, I wanted to keep the same skill points as what I map with, if I can help it. So that is what we did on this build. And yeah, over here, I could go a little bit further. Okay. Oh, even a little bit more further. We finished the third segment and we go into the Rathma fight. Yeah, I wanted to hear the spears. And you can see that we cleared the Void Knights very, very fast. Like, something nice about Arkblast is that since you're shooting it, if you're getting like caged, if you're being put in a cage, it automatically breaks it because you're already shooting towards it. So that was kind of like a nice quality of life. You don't have to worry about getting caged so much. Yeah, over here, I think I'm like clearing the entire thing because I want to get the experience. So it takes me a little longer to clear everything. Okay, and we go into the final fight. Again, not too many adjustments. I try to hit both of them at the same time just to make it faster. You can see if we get hit by something, we just juve back to health. Like we're with 2600 health, so not very high. The druid obviously has the benefit of having oak, so oak gives you a lot of health. Yeah, I'm like pretty much going through it pretty fast. Like we're using a lot of potions just to be safe. We have that kind of like privilege that we can do it. And as you can see, we finished the fight without even using the rejuves in our box. Yeah, we keep all them. So very easy fight, not too bothered by it. There we go. So yeah, we did that fight. It was fairly easy, didn't require any practice or any experience with Arkblast. I didn't play Arkblast before that day, so we just basically put the skills on they use for Arkblast. We try to map with it a little bit. It felt like it works. I went into Ubers, I went into Clone, I went into Rathma, without any thinking about it, just putting a few pieces of gear that would give me maximum resistances, that would help me towards the gear goals that you have in Rathma and in Declone. So with that said, hopefully now you Arkblast Druids can take these builds and just send them onto bossing, so you can gain the Anilus and Tainted Worldstone Shard for yourself. The DIY bossing series will continue tomorrow with a Fire Druid, and in the future I will be leveling a Sorceress, and she will be the second character I'll be visiting for the series. If you have other suggestions for builds for Druid, so like Druid builds that you want to see being done on Rathma and Declone, feel free to suggest them in the comments and I'll do my best to get to them. If there are builds like Rabies, Fireclaw, Maulbearer, Fury, or Summoning that already kind of have like a lot of videos and demonstrations, I think I'm not too stressed to make them, also because I've already made guides for them. But if it's something else that I'm not thinking about, feel free to suggest it and maybe I'll get to it in my pluggy demonstrations. That said, I hope you have a good whatever you're having, and I'll see you in the next stream or in the next video. Yeah, if you will be there, I guess. If not, then I won't see you. But I think that's obvious to all of us. So be there so I can see you. Bye bye.